Now let me show you how to set up your template. You're going to click download template. You'll automatically be prompted to create a copy. If you don't see this page and you just see the template, please click file, make a copy, so that way you can edit the template. Now I'm gonna click make a copy and I'll have my own copy that I'll be the sole owner of. No one else can see what I'm actually doing in here. The first page is your setup page. This is where you write the names of your full-time income, your side hustle, bills, debt, expenses, savings, and investments. When you write the names here, they'll automatically populate across all of these pages. So please only write the names on this page. Now that I've written these names, we can see them in January, February, March, and so on. If you need to write more names, just write them below. Do not delete the ones that you have already created. Down here, in the annual overview page, you don't have to do anything. This will be automatically populated as you enter the information in January through December. In category overview, you also don't have to write anything. At the end of the year, you'll see how much you paid for rent, how much you pay for electricity, and how much you paid for car insurance, and so on. And now you're probably wondering, okay, now what do I write? Let's take a look at January as an example. For your paychecks, you want to select your pay date by double-clicking. You will write how much you are expected to get paid and how much you actually earned. For your part-time job, do the same thing. For the bills, write the due date, the amount you're expected to pay, and the amount that you actually paid. Do the same thing for your savings and investments. Once you put in the information, you'll see everything has started automatically populating. You will see how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, and how much you have actually left to spend. These numbers here are rounded up, however, you can see all the detailed numbers down here. Now let's take a look at the expenses because this part can be the most confusing. In the expenses category, give yourself a budget how much you want to spend this month on each category. In the actual column, you don't have to write anything because that will automatically populate when you fill in the expense tracker. Anytime you spend any money, you need to track it here. For example, let's say I went to Superstore yesterday and I spent $25. I'm going to double click on the date and write the amount and select the category for what it's for. For the description, you can write yourself a note. Now, if I went to H&M and spent $80 on clothing, you will notice that it will show you that you're already in the red. It only happens if you go over the budget. For example, let's say I changed my clothing budget to $200 for this month, and you will notice it disappears. But the whole point is to keep you in check. And remember, if you want to add more categories, you have to go back to the Home tab. So let's click here and let's say we want to add another expense category, gadgets. Once you add it here, it will automatically show up in the expense tracker as additional category. And that's it. I hope this was helpful. I hope you love this template, and just a friendly reminder, if you have any questions, please email me.